I think I've generated over $30 million before I turned 30 years old. That's only possible because of my ability to craft offers, meaning finding out what does someone want and then coming out with an offer and then making it so irresistible, people literally feel stupid saying no. Now imagine if you had that ability, you could literally conjure up and make money from almost thin air. All you need is an internet connection and a laptop or a computer. You want to write this down. The more skills that you have in digital marketing, the more money you're going to make. How do you master offer conversions? I want to go behind the scenes. I'm going to share with you how some of the offers that I've built have generated $10 million plus. You know, and you want to write this down because I just read this study from a very, very wealthy man, and he had done all sorts of research, and he found out that the average American has $5,000 in savings. I'm from the UK, and in the UK, that works out to be maybe about £4,000. Okay, when I think about the average American has $5,000 in savings. And now, because of health advances in our society, in our world, people are living longer. Okay, so if people are living longer, then essentially you need more money to support you, right? And so when you look at it, the average person, if they spend, say, even $40,000 per year, okay, if they're making 4% off any investments, you need to have at least $1 million saved and tucked away, right? So I know sometimes people will tell you, hey, you know, don't think big or you've never done this. I'm here to give you permission to do it. I started off with no job, dropped out of university in my final year, started so many different businesses. Friends and family was laughing at me. They said, no, this thing is not going to work. Don't do this. And I was out here every single day thinking to myself, you know what do I have to do to become more valuable to the marketplace? How do I go and get certified? How do I go and get digital marketing accreditations? And today I'm stand here in front of you very humbly to say, hey, I've generated over $30 million before I turned 30 years old. And that pretty much set me up for a very, very long time. And I've been very fortunate to achieve so many things in my life because of one decision. And you're that one decision away. So with that being said, let's get straight into it, because I'm going to share with you today how to master offer conversions, how to sell $5,000, $10,000 deals using what we call the EBM model, okay? And the only way you can do this and that can pay you $5,000, $10,000, even $50,000 a month or more. I have students right now, some of them are making $500 a month. Some of them are making $5,000 a month. Some of them are making $50,000 a month. This week, I spent time with one of my students. He's making over $500,000 a month. Last night on my WhatsApp, I got a text message from one of my students here in the UK. He just sent me a screenshot of his Stripe. He's made over £700,000. I want you to think about that. £700,000 in a single month. It's not, the month isn't even finished. So why is it that some people are out there making tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month? And then why is it that some people struggle to make even a few $1,000s a month or 5 or 10K per month? Well, today, by the end of this presentation, I will show you exactly where most people are at, what's the missing link, and for you to fast track so that you can get to the next level. So I'm also going to share with you how you can do this entirely from your computer. All you need is a computer, a laptop, internet connection. You don't need to spend $50,000 on a degree. You don't need to spend 3 years going to university and studying. What I'm going to show you is going to be the ultimate shortcut that I've discovered. And I speak really fast, so you have to forgive me. I'm literally condensing 15 years of experience, expertise, wisdom, mistakes that I've made in the next few hours. So this is all about how do you help business owners that need help and that are ready, able, and willing to pay you money. Again, my students and I have collectively made millions implementing the same system. So I'll give you an example of just one of these programs, right? So the high ticket offer certification. By the way, if you got pen and paper, just write this down. High ticket offer certification. On its own, we would sell this for up to $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the package. And this is a program. What this would do is it would teach you the ABC of how to create high ticket offers. Now behind me, as you can see, I have all these awards. The top awards represent $1 million each, and the ones at the bottom represent over $10 million each. And the reason why I share this is because that's only possible because of my ability to craft offers. Offers meaning finding out what does someone want and then coming out with an offer and then making it so irresistible, people literally feel stupid saying no. Now imagine if you had that ability. You could literally conjure up and make money from almost thin air. All you need is an internet connection and a laptop or a computer, right? And so how this works is me and my team, we went out into the industry. We found all these people that were selling how to create offers, how to do launches, how to create $100 million offers, how to make $10 million offers, how to make your first six-figure offer. And I basically acquired so much of this training. I spent an absolute fortune acquiring some of this stuff. And then I hired 4 people, okay, to go through almost every single of the top course out there. And then I said to my team, I want you to create something better. Okay, I want you to create something much more better. And instead of just a course, I want to put in tools, templates, resources, and to make it an absolute no-brainer so that when my students come in, they can go through this process and at the end, they can become certified and they can become Wealth Academy certified through one of our brands. And when they become Wealth Academy certified, we'll also help them get a high-paying job. And this job can pay them anywhere from $5,000, $10,000 a month for working for other business owners. Think about it. This is just one skill. And one of the things that I teach my students and my clients and even my people close to me, it's never about one thing. If you just come to me and you're like, hey, I know how to do Facebook ads. Okay, that's just one thing. There's a million people that know how to run Facebook ads. But how many people know Facebook ads with conversion rate optimization, with copywriting, with how to create offers, with how to do content marketing? Okay, when I was making over $1 million a month from just one of my companies, one of my businesses, the number one thing that stood out with all of my staff is that they had something called skill stacking. Okay, so you want to write this down. Skills stacking. How do you stack multiple skills on top of another? This is what makes you valuable. Today, if I wanted to, I could run Facebook ads. I know how to create offers. I know how to create content. This is an example of a webinar that I'm doing right now. I know how to do emails. I've sent out 8,000 plus emails. I know how to speak to sell. I know how to speak on stage, in public, one-on-one. I know how to speak to a group. I also know how to sell to a group, right? Copywriting. I can write words that turn into cash. How many of you have got emails from me? Right? Well, guess what? Those emails are written in a specific way. How many of you have ever seen one of my Facebook ads or my YouTube ads? By a show of hands. Okay. By the way, this is a skill because I've learned the skill of writing copy. At any given time, I can write copy. Sales funnels. Well, you already know, as the founder of funnels.com, I've learned a lot over the last decade about sales funnels. And by the way, this is a program that we're planning to update every 3 months because so many things are moving so fast. We want to be updating things as fast as possible. What you see here in front of you right now, the 9 certifications, this is what we call our skill stacking system. Okay, you want to write this down. The more skills that you have in digital marketing, the more money you're going to make. Okay, so keep this in mind. And I want to go right into what we call the 3 big secrets. Okay, number 1 is scalable $1 million offers. Number 2 is the EBM business model. And number 3 is the high ticket agency. Okay, now some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a lot to learn. I totally understand. And you might even feel overwhelming, and that's okay too. This is why if you feel overwhelmed and if you feel like, you know what, I need some extra help, and we're going to show you how do you become the authority, how do you become the go-to expert. There are no special requirements needed for this exclusive business model. You don't need a lot of experience. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need technical experience. You don't need to speak to anyone in person. You don't need to leave your home. You don't need to have existing business experience, which is a lot of things. A lot of the reason why most people don't succeed is because they're trying to start a business, but they have zero business experience, right? And so it's always much harder if you have zero experience. If you have some experience, then obviously you're gonna get ahead real faster. So people ask me all the time, can we do this without quitting my job, right? Can we do this on the side? Can we do this whilst we have a family, whilst we have, essentially being on my phone? Can I do this even if I have limited time? Okay, so I will show you how to do this. Next, with this EBM system, you're going to get paid before you even do an ounce of work. This is the differentiator, right? Most of the time, if you're an employee, you're working 9 to 5, what do you have to do? You have to work for a whole month, and then you get paid at the end of the month, okay? When you're a business owner, and the business model that I'm going to teach you today, you're going to get paid up front, okay? You're going to get paid up front, and then you can allocate the resources. It's almost like becoming a little Warren Buffett, right? You get paid first, okay? GPT, get paid today. You get paid today first, then you take that money, then you can outsource the work, then you can hire other people to help you, but you get paid first before you do an ounce of any work, right? So, and this is what I call the 7-step funnels methodology. So you want to write this down. Number 1 is finding your niche, right? You want to be able to work with a select group of people that you like, that you want to serve, that you can solve their problems. Number 2, you have to understand the pain points of your customer. If you don't understand the pain points of your customer, what tends to happen is you're just going round and round in circles trying to solve any and everyone's problems. Okay, when we want to work with a specific group of clientele, we really understand what are the pain prospects, the pain that the prospect is facing. It's usually that they're overwhelmed. They've started so many different opportunities, but they've never gone through with one. They suffer from shiny object syndrome. They lack they're in information overwhelm. They've been scammed before. They've been let down by this guru or this fancy person that they thought was going to change their life. Okay, and they didn't take any responsibility for themselves. And so now they're left with almost nothing to show, and they're embarrassed in front of their spouses. Their wife doesn't really respect them as much, or their husband thinks, hey, what the heck is my wife doing watching all these internet gurus on the internet, right? So you have to understand what your prospects' pain points are. I've realized that my prospects' pain points go way beyond just business. If they don't have their business and their income right, then it's affecting their health, if it's affecting their relationship, it's affecting their sleep, it's affecting all aspects of their life. The reason why I know this and I understand where my prospects are is because I was once that guy. Okay, I had no money, but I would join these webinars just like you. Wherever you're watching this from the world, I know we got people always joining from all parts of the world. And I would be like, I'm going to be the guy that makes $50,000 a month. I want to make $100,000 a month. Heck, I want to make $1 million a month. Imagine most people, they dream of making $1 million in their lifetime. Very few people get to making $1 million a year. Imagine being able to make $1 million in a month. Well, in my case, I've been so fortunate, God bless me, okay, that I've been able to make $1 million profit in a single day. So when I share this stuff with you, please know throughout this presentation, it's not to brag or to boast. My mom is impressed with me, so is my dad. I don't need to impress you. I just want to inspire you to take massive action so that you could be a role model for your community, for your friends and family, for the people that love you, right? And next thing is you got to nail your messaging. Who is it that you're trying to attract and who do you not want to attract, right? If you see most of my webinars, just look around. Most of the people are 30 plus because when I place my ads, I'm appealing to a 35 or a 45-year-old male or female. I'm not looking for 18, 22-year-old kids. So it's very clear. My messaging works. Think about what got you here. What got you here is me being able to place tiny little ads all over the internet and have you show up to my webinars, my class, my offers, right? Niching down your perfect client and customer, then being able to engage with them, okay? And then leveraging tech automation. So many of our clients, they'll come to us and they'll say, they can talk to people which is a great skill to have to make money. They can present an offer. They can find businesses to help. They can do all of that stuff, but tech really boggles them down. I get it, okay? At my stage, doing this for over 15 plus years, I've never set up my own funnel. I've never even set up ads. I am a very simple guy. And the reason why is, I used to do construction work when I was about 21 years old. And that's, my background is just show me the bigger picture, right? Like my dad, he used to tell me about buying properties. And he'd say, son, we buy a property, right? A rundown property, and we do some work on it, and then we sell it. And when we sell it, what's in the middle is profit. I was like, okay, cool, very simple, I get it. And then it'd be like, if we can't sell the property, we would put people in, and those tenants would pay us rent. And as a kid, I like, it's a very simple business model. Boom, I understand. So I just thought to myself, no matter how big your property is, you can't really put 5,000 people in your property and get them to pay you rent, right? You can't put 5,000 tenants in a building, right? Then I thought, well, when you have an online website and money-making funnel, you can now put people in, and you can put unlimited amounts of people in. And you can put people in from all walks of life. They don't have to be just the people local to you. They could be people from all over the world. So I understood that concept, and I was like, okay, cool. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to have online funnels, kind of like online ATM machines. Once I set one up, yesterday I was doing another masterclass, and I walked people through a $28,000 per month book funnel, all right? How does that work? You take that book funnel, now boom, you can duplicate it, write 5 books. Now you're on 150 grand a month, pretty much passive income. That's over $1.5 million ish per year, nearly $2 million a year. Most people, if they made an extra 200 grand a year, their entire life would change. So this is the kind of stuff that we're sharing with you, right? And then leveraging tech automation. And the last one is structuring your offers. Look, at the end of the day, if you don't structure a value ladder, a way for people to come in and buy your products and services, stage 1, and then up level, then you're going to be the ones missing out. Look, all the biggest companies in the world, they do it, right? In front of me, I have a big, massive Mac. I have a laptop. I have some iPads. I have some phones around me. This is all part of Apple's integrated product suite. So if the biggest companies in the world are doing this, the question you have to ask yourself is, why are you not doing it, right? I have probably 3 or 4 different types of Apple headphones and earphones. This is part of Apple's integrated product suite. For you to make $1 million in the next 12 months, this is one of the key components that we teach our students. So this is the 7-part guru formula that I want to share with you. Okay, so every single person that I've seen that have made big money online, 7 figures, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, they have a range of this. And look, I can go on and on in terms of you need this, you need that for Facebook ads, you need this for YouTube ads. But if I give you a simplistic plan, a plan that anyone can follow, and then you can watch it, you can print it out, how many of you think that would be valuable for you? By a show of hands. Okay, let's get some interaction. Just type into the chat box, yes, it will be valuable. All right, so this is the 7-stage marketing campaign that generates leads on autopilot, enrolls high-ticket clients like nobody's business. I've been using the same formula to generate millions of dollars and then tens of millions of dollars and tens of millions of pounds in my case for over a decade. And the way I came across this formula is I spent over $750,000 hiring coaches, hiring mentors, finding gurus, traveling to America, traveling to Costa Rica, Bahamas, Dubai, basically all over the world. And I basically paid an absolute fortune to a series of experts, whether it was Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, billionaires like Richard Branson. I went and found, hey, you know what? All these top entrepreneurs, they have a variation in their business and their companies of the 7-step funnels methodology. So I want you guys to write this down, because number 1 is what we call a squeeze page. A squeeze page is essentially where you collect people's opt-in, okay? When you collect people's opt-in, you're able to communicate with them over and over again, okay? So you essentially get people to give you their details, and then now you have their email. Now you can send them emails over and over again. Why is this important? You want to write this down. Grab your pen and paper and write this down, because this is how you recycle traffic. Okay, this is also how you, without being too hypey, this is how you make push button money. Okay, today if I wanted to make $20,000 literally by tonight, all I have to do is think of an offer, right? Write out the offer and then send an email to my entire list, and boom. Okay, probably within 24 hours, I can make $20,000. Does that make sense? Okay, now I wouldn't have that ability if I didn't have a squeeze page that collects opt-ins. Okay, so I want to just show you this, and I'm actually going to go through, let me go through the 7 steps very quickly, and then I'll give you a real life demonstration of how this works. Is that cool with you guys? Yeah? Okay, cool. And like I said, where you are right now and where you want to get to, the difference is what funnel and what offer is missing. Most of you think, oh, but I can just figure this out myself. Listen, if you could figure it out yourself, with all due respect, today you wouldn't be on this call. Does that make sense? Some of you will make excuses like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, or I'm this, I'm that. But the reality is, imagine if someone was to offer you a $250,000 Ferrari for $25,000. You and I both know you would go and find that money. Yes or no? Wherever you live right now, I live on the river. So most of these properties, let's just say they cost £1 million or whatever, right? Let's just say any of these properties. Today, if someone came to me, actually, let's pick on you. Today, if I said to you, hey, one of these houses or penthouses on the river is about £1 million to £2 million, but in the next 24 hours, I'm going to let you have it for $50,000. How many of you will go and find $50,000 in the next 24 hours? Okay, and if your hand didn't go up, you need to look in the mirror and there must be something going on right up here. Think about it. So I learned something from a guy called Tony Robbins. It's never about the resources. It's about how resourceful someone can become. Does that make sense? I remember when I first got started in this industry, I was so broke. I mean, I dropped out of university, and I'm Asian, right? So my dad was super disappointed in me because he wanted me to be like a doctor, accountant, lawyer, or some fancy 9-to-5 job guy. And I remember meeting this millionaire dude from Miami, Florida. He was an ex-Marine, real, bald-headed, tall dude, really rough. I have a very rough mentorship nature about me behind the smiles, because I want my team, I want my customers to get results. So I don't apologize for being. How many of you would like to have someone just tell you how it needs to be done, right? Instead of sugarcoating, am I going to hurt your feelings? I'm like, hey, here's what you need to do. My first mentor did that to me, right? And multiple mentors after that. That first mentor said to me, I remember very clearly, he was offering a program for mentorship, and it was like $20,000, right? And I was like, for me, back then, I was like, dang, I don't even know anyone that has even $10,000. And I remember I had given this guy a big sob story, this is where I grew up in East London, I have money, my parents, blah, 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 blah. And I remember the guy looked at me, straight looked at me, and he's like, okay, kid, that's the story that you're telling yourself, and that's why you're stuck. And I remember thinking, wow, man, I just gave you this sob story about my family, about this and blah, blah. And the one thing you can turn around to me and just be like, okay, that's your story. See, as a millionaire, as any millionaire mentor will tell you, it's not the stories that define you, it's the actions that you take. Do you see the difference? Everyone can have a sob story. You live in a trailer, your parents did this, your parents didn't love you, your parents had a divorce, you go into drugs. Every single person has a story. But then how do you take that story and that mess, and then how do you turn it into a profitable message? I remember coming back from Miami, Florida. I was in this place called Boca Raton. And I remember coming from Boca Raton back to London, and I said to myself, I'm going to make a list of 10 people, and I'm just going to message every single one of these people. And I don't care what they say. If they don't give me any money, that's totally fine. But at least I have to put it on myself to go and find the resources to invest in myself, right? And then I remember finding $28,000 from some random people. It was a couple in New Zealand. Don't ask me how, don't ask me for the details, but one thing led to another. And I raised $28,000. The first thing I did was go and buy that guy's mentoring. Okay. The very next year, the very first year of my internet marketing full year, remember, I was a kid, no experience whatsoever. I didn't even know what an autoresponder was, let alone Facebook ads. My first year, I made $120,000. My second year, I made $275,000. My third year, I was around 23 years old. I made $1.2 million. Okay. And it's all thanks, firstly, to God. Secondly, to what I'm sharing with you here. Are you guys reading it so far? Is this making sense to you? If it's making sense, just type in it's making sense. Okay, because I want to keep going fast. So second stage is, first we get the opt-in page, okay? That way we can communicate with those leads. Second thing is we need to have a sales letter or a video sales letter, okay? Sometimes people call it a webinar. For today's session, we're just going to call it a webinar, okay? So you need to have some sort of webinar, a presentation that works for you 24/7. Look, if you have employees, if you know anyone that has employees, one day they're up, one day they're down. They want to take time off. When you utilize webinars, it's like having an AI. It's like having a robot that works for you 24/7. It doesn't complain. It doesn't ask for a pay rise. It doesn't ask for holidays. It doesn't come up with, oh, my dog ate the homework. My dog ate the book. It doesn't come up with excuses, right? So what we have to do is we have to transition from manual labor, working with our hands and our time, to how do we leverage technology. And one of the best ways to do this is by having a webinar. Okay, I'm going to show you a webinar in just a few minutes. Okay, and then number 3 is people can book a call with you, or they can simply click the link and buy. So if you see over here in front of you, this is one of the presentations. Let me just pull this out over here. Okay, you want to give people an opportunity to maybe book a call with you, or just click the order link and buy. And write this down, okay? If you want to sell anything for more than $1,000, you need to give people the opportunity to book a call, okay? Why? Because people that want to invest, say, $2,000, $20,000, $10,000, people that want to buy your agency services, some of the stuff that we're going to teach and talk to you about today, they want to talk to a real human being. This is not like buying a, $10, $20 ebook or whatever, a physical book, $30. Wow, this book was written in 1993. Okay, we're talking about people that want to spend big money with you. Okay, so you have to be, how many of you, by a show of hands, I want to get some feedback from you guys. Okay, how many of you fear getting on the phone to talk to people, by a show of hands? Okay, it's like, I'd say about 20% of people. I can guarantee you probably make less than $20,000 a month. Is that correct? Yeah, everyone that put their hand up, they're like, yeah. Okay, so one is you have to realize that people want to connect with you. Okay, it's not how you look, it's not what you look like, what you sound like. People want to connect with you. And one of the best ways to do that is on the phone. Now, let me give you a better example. How many of you don't like sitting on the phone? Okay, that's totally fine. How many of you would love to sell on the phone if people applied to work with you and told you if they have $1,000 budget or $20,000 on the budget? Now everyone's hand goes up. So it's not that you don't like to speak to people on the phone, it's you have the wrong leads. Yes or no? And if you have the wrong quality of leads, it will affect your entire life. I know, because many years ago, I used to do network marketing on the internet, okay? And some of these leads would come in and they would be they would be the worst type of leads I could ever work with. Does that make sense? So most people here, from what I've seen, is if you get bad leads, it's going to determine the quality of your life, okay? If you get good leads, you're going to be much more happier. This is why you see in our funnels, we don't even accept people that just have money, right? We want to make sure that they go through application, qualification, and then the next one, the fourth one, is what we call the integrated product suite. Write this down. If you, just like how I talked about Apple, right? If you go to Apple, you can buy their iPhone, and then after you buy their iPhone, they'll offer you, AirPods, right? And then after AirPods, they'll offer you maybe one of these. and then they'd offer you maybe one of these Apple cases, right? And then what else is there? There's, you can see I spend a lot of money with Apple. There's another Apple, what is this? An iPad, right? So this is what's called an integrated product suite. Every single top company in the world, they do this. You spend your money when you go into the supermarket, you don't just buy one thing, you buy multiple things. Why? Because it's all products that are part of an ecosystem. What we're going to help our clients do is build their own ecosystem of products, okay? This way you can make money today, tomorrow, next 5 years, and even next decade. I have products that I created over 10 years ago. Like, think about it. 10 years ago, digital products, they are still selling right now. They're still available to buy 10 years later, okay? Number 5, email marketing. How many of you get emails every single day? Okay, people will say emails are dead. Listen, emails is the only platform that you can control. If you have 1 million followers on TikTok, 1 million followers on YouTube, 1 million followers on LinkedIn, here's the thing, you don't own those platforms. But if you have an email list, you have the attention of those people. You can communicate and drive messages to those people. So I need you to keep that in mind. Next one is a webinar, right? So a webinar is a long form presentation, and today I'm going to show you an example of that. And number seven is live events, virtual events or physical events like this. Okay, so how many of you feel like, you know what, I need this 7-step plan of action? How many of you feel like, man, if I had one of these funnels, a 7-step plan, I'd be making a lot more money than I'm making today, right? So I created this after spending over $700,000 with coaches and consultants, right? So key action steps, okay, that you need to close multiple deals, 10K to 50K offers, okay? Becoming a product of the product. If you want to sell high ticket products, you must invest in high ticket products. It's like if you've never spent $5,000 or $10,000 in yourself to learn the skills, how and why do you expect people to give you $5,000 or $10,000? Because over a decade ago, I borrowed money, I invested $30,000 into mentorship programs, coaching programs. I bought everything from all these product launch gurus like Frank Kern and Ryan Dice and Eben Pagan and whatever other things that was being sold online, okay? I became a product of the product. This helped me easily and effortlessly attract high ticket clients, okay? If you want to sell stuff for $5,000 or $10,000, you should also invest in yourself $5,000, $10,000 today so that you can say, hey, I'm a product of this product, okay? The reason why I have zero hesitation when I meet someone and I'm like, I can help that person, and I just say, yep, private mentoring, 12 months, $120,000. I've had over 30 plus people pay me that, up to $300,000. I'll easily just say that with zero hesitation. Why? Here's why. Because I have spent 750 grand just on coaches. I've spent 10 million pounds of my own money in advertising, in business, in hiring, firing, making mistakes. So guess what? I know I can easily save you. Just pay me 1%. 10% of 10 million is 1 million. I'm not even asking you for 10%. I'm asking you for 1 measly percent. What's 1%? It's 100 G's. That's why I charge 120 grand for coaching. My private one-on-one in-person coaching is 120K. Each year, I plan to take at least 5 students, only 5 private high-end clients at 120K. Whether if you're someone who's already making multiple 7 figures or even 8 figures and you want that, it's 120K. I know every time I do one of these webinars, there's always a group of people, they have the money. They're like, Shaqir, just sell me everything that you have. Okay, my highest program right now, the public one, is 120K. So if you have 120K, you want to work with me, get in touch with my team and we'll make that happen. Next, okay, so this is the previous model where you hope and beg for clients. The new way is by using funnels, okay, and having high ticket programs that come in to you instead of you chasing them and endlessly just being on social media. Most people right now, they're jumping from one social media to another. They're chasing the next shiny object. They're spinning their wheels and they have nothing to show for it. What we're going to do is the only way to exponentially grow your online income is by having the EBM business model work for you. And the only way for you to become a top earner in your industry is by leveraging this thing called the EBM, okay? And the only way for you to attract high ticket clients, convert cold strangers into giving you customers, okay? By the way, that's the holy grail. Tony Robbins, by the way, is releasing a new book called The Holy Grail of Investing. Well, that's basically on how to invest in private equity. You need to have a bunch of money, blah, blah, blah. What happens if you have less than 250 grand in your bank account? You don't need to go and learn how to become an investor. What you need to do is learn how to make lots of money. One of the ways you learn how to make lots of money is by what we call the holy grail of marketing. What's the holy grail of marketing? It's turning cold strangers into high-paying clients. Your ability to do this will determine how much money you make. And with our help, you can get them much faster. So this is a case study. This is a guy, he's like maybe 80 years old now. When I invested with him, I paid him $35,000. I found him through a squeeze page. I downloaded a free ebook. I never read the ebook. It was about productivity. I got a call from one of his team members. I paid him $10,000. I went to the event. I realized he's not at the event. And for you to meet him, you have to buy the $25,000 event and you have to actually fly over to Toronto, Canada. Okay, so this is what I did. I flew to Toronto, Canada, and this guy is probably 80 years old now, founder of Strategic Coach. Again, the EBM model. All of the top companies in the world, they use this. And if you can copy and clone what I'm sharing here with you, you're going to have an unfair advantage. Okay, successful personal brands. What's consistent with them? They're serious, they're committed, they result focus, they invest in self-growth, education, they have high quality standards, they got a vision and a mission. And my mission with you is essentially to give you a step-by-step blueprint that you need in order to create your own personal online business to cash flow positive right now. Okay, I've spent, like I said, over $1 million of my own cash just on Facebook alone. I've been managed to be able to get over 12x ROAS. Okay, so imagine spending $1 million and making over $12 million back. Okay, that's how much I was able to make. It was a lot more than that, but I just kept it at 12x. Okay, so what do you need to do to position yourself as an expert without any experience? Okay, we're gonna go through this. Again, you can take screenshots of this content conversion matrix. So this is just a handful of things. What can you do to persuade people? Endorsements from celebrities, customer reviews, a strong about us page. What can you do to entertain people? Gamify your products and services, have competition, have viral content. What can you do to educate your prospects? Do webinars. Like right now, what am I doing here with you? I'm giving you a webinar. I'm giving you guidebooks. I'm giving you content. This is to educate you. Okay, this is part of the EBM business model. EBM stands for education-based marketing. Okay, education-based marketing. This is the key. And the different journey is how do you take someone from the awareness level into the conversion level? How do they just find you? Like some people here, they'll come and join my webinar. They'll come and join my 5-day challenge. They'll come and join our 3-day boot camps. Boom, before they know it, they'll spend $20,000, $50,000, even $100,000. Why? They go from completely having no idea who we are to saying, hey, I like this person. I know what they stand for. I want to work with them. I like their team. You know what? They've given so much value up front for free or for such a low cost. Imagine if I paid them money. You've been trying to crack the code to making $20,000 a month, maybe for the last 5 years, maybe for the last 20 years. What if I could give you a fast track so that you don't have to spend another 6 months or a year trying to figure it out by yourself? How much is that worth to you? So this is the example of a sales funnel in action, right? At the top, we have traffic, people coming to us, and then those traffic turns into leads. Those leads turn into prospects, customers, and then clients. And what we want to do is help as many people as we can on the top with traffic so that they come through what's called our sales funnels process, okay? So essentially, the way you have to look at it is cold audience is strangers and hot buyers is raving fans, people that are willing and able to buy from you right now, okay? Number 2, next is We get your business data and give you clarity and an action plan. Okay, so make sure if you haven't posted in the Facebook group, make sure you do that. Okay, so becoming the expert authority. Implement 3 steps that can drastically transform your business and brand. Number 1 is creating the know factor awareness. All right, you have to become known in the marketplace. We teach you this step by step in our VIP coaching programs and our masterminds. But if no one knows you, then no one's going to come to you. You have to become known. And this is where you go from doing one-on-one work to one-to-many. So people can come and find you. Number 2 is you have to create the like factor. If people don't like you, why should they buy from you? Okay, people buy from people they know, like, and most importantly, they trust. Okay, KLT, write this down. KLT, know, like, and trust. The reason why you make X amount of money right now is because of some people they know you, some people they like you, some people they trust you. Your ability to influence more people and influence the right people will determine how much money you make. So you have to really understand the KLT factor. Okay, this is how you become an expert. People have to know you, people have to like you, and people have to trust you. There's a reason why over 1.5 million people have come through and subscribed to my newsletters. There's a reason why if I host a webinar, I can get hundreds and hundreds of people, even thousands of people to register for a webinar. Why? Because I've put out content, they know me, it helps them so they like it, and they've seen it enough times so they trust me. Okay? This is how it works. So the first stage is awareness, then it's consideration, then it's action. And we go from emotional to rational to benefit, right? So you have this is the states that your audience is in, right? These steps need to be delivered and packaged to meet 3 criteria. Write this down. Number 1, you have to educate. You have to provide an exact solution to a problem. I talked about, hey, what's the best business model to start? How do you create $1 million offers? How do you get people to come to you instead of you chasing them? How do you sell even if you don't like selling? Like, these are things that I'm known for. How do you stack your skills with our Wealth Academy certification programs or our funnels agency, right? What I'm doing here is I'm educating, I'm providing exact solutions to problems that people are facing, right? Next, entertain. You can make them laugh, you can make them wonder, you can basically make them think. So for example, in these presentations, this is not me trying to entertain you through trying to make you laugh, okay? I hardly make any jokes. If I do, sometimes they're not funny, so I just laugh at myself or I laugh at my own jokes and whatever, right? But most of my content is designed to make you think, right? Because I'm also not trying to attract some young punk kid, right? I'm trying to attract a mature, grown male or female that's really serious about taking their career, their business to the next level. So that's what they entertain. The next third one is inspire. You got to make people feel good about themselves and their potential. You got to show them what's possible. This is one of the reasons why I talk about the awards. You know, most people dream of making $1 million in their lifetime or in a year. I've done over $13 million before I turned 30 years old, right? It's not luck. You can't say it's timing. Obviously, there's a formula to it, right? If I did it once, you could call me lucky. If I do it 2 times, maybe I got double lucky. But someone that's done it 30 times and you're trying to make your first $1 million, I believe I can help you. I believe that there's no one else in this entire industry that's made $30 million before turning 30 years old in the info marketing space. I have. So obviously I can help you, right? Next, this is one of our students, Scott. I mean, he owns Australia's fastest growing digital education business. Over 250 grand a month this guy is making, right? I speak to him almost every single month. He joined my 50K Inner Circle Mastermind because he came across literally just one Facebook post, saw my awards and my results and said, boom, I want to work with this guy. Boom, joined my 50K Mastermind program. Okay, Mike Barron, this is another dude, came in and you've heard his story probably if you've been following me. This guy was in the hospital. His wife was about to give birth and he just saw my ad. He paid for the 5-day challenge, joins a webinar, boom, comes in, pays me like tens of thousands of dollars for like 4 calls. That's all he got, right? He had like coaching and mentorship. He didn't even take me up on anything. He just wanted to have 4 phone calls, right? And he's invested over $25,000, right? Think about it. In the next 2 years, he went over to make $20 million. Wow, isn't that crazy? Right? There's another dude, Zach, right? When I met him, he never even made 100 grand in a single month. He was struggling to make like probably 30 or 40K a month. And this dude, you probably heard of his testimonial and his videos. I remember his dad must be in his like 70s, okay? His dad comes up to me and he's like, you know what, son, because of you, his son, he starts to read the Bible, he starts to pray, he starts to, stop drinking alcohol, stop doing drugs and all of this stuff. And really, because he came through and he started learning from myself, right? So, and today we're going to wrap it up. If you'd like to work with us, if you'd like to take the next step, then go to funnels.com and book a call.